Well, good morning. This short video is just a summary of repair to the exhaust wastegate or bypass gate on the hot side of one of the turbos on my 2011 Ford 150 Ecoboost 3.5 liter. And after about 8 years of not dealing with this issue on my truck and taking it into 2 or 3 shops without successful diagnosis, one of them being a dealer, I finally went to YouTube University, and I'd like to give reference to a couple of channels that really helped me out with this repair. So I'm going to link them in the description, and each of these channels, if you don't like the reference, please just let me know and I'll pull the video. But Boost King Matt was one of the videos that really helped me out on how does this bypass valve work and how do you make adjustments to it, as well as Camel Garage. Again, both links are in the description. So particularly Camel Garage, his video is exactly the sound that I was having while driving my truck around. When the turbo would kick in, I would hear this continual and cyclic whooshing sound is the best way to describe it. I encourage you to go to that link and listen to his video. It's a very good recording of the type of problem that a stuck bypass valve will, how that will appear. So go there and then come on back. I'll describe very simply in just a few pictures the type of work that was required to make this repair. By the way, I did take it to my local dealer here in Vermont, and they said, they very much told me this was the problem. The bypass valve on the hot side of the turbo was frozen and that it was not serviceable. And they quoted me $2,500 for a new turbo, up to $3,500 if they had to replace any manifold bolts that break off during that repair. So between $2,500 and $3,500 repair. And I told them, please don't do it. I'm going to go search YouTube. And I'll tell you what, these two videos that I referenced really helped me out. And it took me about an hour of my time and probably 50 cents worth of PB Blaster or rust penetrating oil and some patience to get this problem fixed. I took it for a test drive following this work, and the problem is gone. So go have a look at those other channels and videos, and I'll pause here and come on back. So in my case, it was the left side turbo, the driver's side turbo, which in this image is on the right side, of course. And if you crawl up onto the engine bay, lay on some cardboard or something to make it more comfortable. This closer image down behind the oil dipstick, yellow dipstick, is the diaphragm valve actuator for that turbo. And you can see the black rubber hose right behind the yellow dipstick going into that diaphragm. It should move, I guess the calibrated value is 9 psi of pressure. But mine started moving right around 10 psi, and I pumped it up with a hand, like a MityVac pressure pump, up to 15 and 20 psi. And while my valve lever was stuck, I did see ever so slightly a bit of movement. And then later, I'll show you in the next picture, I did disconnect the actuator assembly from the valve itself, so that I could see that the actuator was working and it wasn't leaking. In other words, when it was under pressure, it was trying to extend. So it should relax. There should be a spring return on this valve. And when there's no air pressure, this actuator should return toward the camera. It should relax and draw in toward the camera. And when it's under pressure, it should extend the actuating rod outward. Beneath that metal stainless clip, beneath there are 2 nuts, one on each side of a barrel bolt or a barrel nut. So those 2 nuts allow you to make adjustments. And again, go look to Boost King Matt. His video will show you a good example on how to preload and make adjustments to that extension rod. I didn't move anything from where it was set. I just disconnected it and put it back where it was so that I could get onto the lever behind there, and with some vice grips, and just work it back and forth. Spray some penetrating oil on there, work it back and forth. Be patient with this part of the job. So here, I just wanted to point out that stainless clip. It just snaps over that threaded rod. You can pull it off with a screwdriver or a pair of pliers. Just pull it straight off. It's got a split fork on each side wrapping around those nuts beneath it, and it just snaps onto that threaded rod. So that was a challenge for me to learn. How does that come off? Just spray a lot of oil in there, let it set, work it back and forth, spray some more oil, work it back and forth, rinse and repeat until you're happy with the movement. Again, the dealer said it was frozen, locked up, and needed a full turbo replacement. And I think when I put vice grips on that, I probably applied between 5 and 10 pounds of calibrated wrist action to get this freed up. It wasn't bad at all. And it's since I worked it back and forth, it's freed up and it's working. I put it back together, went for a test drive, runs great. I no longer get that sound that you can hear on Camel Garage's video. I'm just very happy with this. This has been 8 years of nuisance for me, but it's now resolved, and I thought I'd make a short video showing some of the close-ups here. I encourage you to look at these other two videos for the how-to and some of the more, the active effort of making this repair. But if you have questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to share. This cost me, as I said earlier, an hour of my time, cup of coffee, and a good dose of patience. And it saved a $3,000 job from the dealer. So it's worth making an attempt at yourself. With that, I'll say have a great day. Thanks for visiting, and I'll see you on the next video.